Hello everyone, welcome back to Ryan Reacts, and this is the answer portion of my Q&A video. I got my cell phone here. I'm going to use the app on that to make sure I don't miss any questions. I got about a half dozen. I wasn't expecting a single one, so I did a lot better than I had hoped. Or not as many as I'd hoped, better than I dreaded. So let's get started. First question. All-time favorite video game console? That question for a nerd like me is going to be more complicated than is necessary, but here goes. My favorite console, or my first console, is always going to be a little special just because I'm a nerd that way. That was the Atari, I believe, 2600. Favorite game on that was Adventure, if I recall, was the title. You're a little square dude running around, grabbing a key, trying to get into a castle and run away from dragons. That game was really fun, amusing for its simplicity, and it turns out I was a fantasy nerd before fantasy was even a thing in gaming. I find that amusing. But now, onto the meat of the issue, as if that wasn't long-winded enough. Favorite console, I'm going to divide up into two categories. Current and old school. My favorite old school console has got to be the NES, classic Nintendo. It was kind of a crappy system, blinking green lights, and would mess up from time to time, but it was the first console that could really do things. First one capable of complex games with levels and different adjustments and changes. As far as I'm aware, it was the one that created a whole bunch of great characters that went ongoing and evolved. You know, the Mario franchise, the Link and Zelda franchise, Mega Man all started there. Fantastic franchises that deserve to be where they got. Great ones, you know. LJN may have not been the greatest source of games, but hey, this was early in gaming. No one knew what made a good game yet. Can't blame them entirely for that, especially when they apparently didn't want to make video games in the first place and were forced to do that when they got bought up by a bigger company, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of an interesting story, to be honest. Modern consoles, I would give the edge to the PlayStation. I'm a PS guy. I'm a big PlayStation nerd. I guess I would probably say of those, though, PS2 is a little bit special to me. It's a little bit of my favorite one because it had backwards compatibility, which is a big thing for me considering all the games I've bought over the years. It is a little annoying, my PS3 and PS4. As much as they're capable of, they can't play the simpler shit, which can be annoying at times. If I want to play Guitar Hero or Mega Man Legends, I gotta go dig out that and hook that up, and it's always a pain in the ass. PS4, I love it. I don't play games on it much though. It's because I love it because of its versatility. You can do so much shit on that. So many different apps and applications and things you can run, and video services you can stream with. It's just such a versatile machine. It's practically a computer on its own. Just give it a power source and a screen, and it's good to go. Which that's why I love it. Next question. Who is your favorite background pony? That's another hard one for me to answer specifically, just because I'm a heavily character-driven person, and a lot of the background ponies lack definition as far as character and motives and attitudes and reputations and what they do and how they do it, and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people love Lyra, but for all we know, she could be worse than Diamond Tiara or Silver Spoon. A lot of you probably said, fuck off, you asshole. I love Lyra. But, for all we know, it's true. Canon stuff, until they canonize a lot of the background elements, I have a hard time picking a definitive case. So if I'm going just on appearance, I go with Bon Bon or Blossomforth. I guess are probably my top choices. I like the very bright, vibrant, clashing styles of their mains and the look to them. It's kind of, to me, it's like an 80s pro wrestler style garb, which I love. That's kind of what's her name from Equestria Girls too. She's got the, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name, the red and yellow hair. Got the Hulk Hogan look going on. Sunset Shimmer, that's it. She's also got a great look, but she's not a background pony anymore, so it's kind of hard to include her in that list. Do you watch Steven Universe? And can you react to it? I do not watch Steven Universe. And in fact, I don't know what Steven Universe even is. I didn't know about it. I hadn't even heard of it, honestly, until someone on this channel asked me to react to it. And the answer to your other question is yes. It's actually my next on my queue. Till I get some money coming in on Patreon, I am kind of limiting myself to 4 series at once. It's kind of a hectic pace, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned. A bit much for me to do as it is, so to add a 5th show right now would be difficult for free. I'm kind of a dick like that, but there you go. However, it's first come, first serve, and Steven Universe is actually first on my queue once MLP goes on hiatus, or I catch up on Death Battle, whichever comes first. So I definitely plan on reacting to it, and it should hopefully happen in the near future. Do you like the Transformers series? If yes, which series is your favorite? And who is your favorite Decepticon and Autobot? To be honest, I haven't watched Transformers a lot since G1, so that'll probably be my favorite. I did enjoy it quite a bit. I've thought about reacting to doing some blind reactions to the new series. I forget its name, not the Rescue Bots, the other one. Can't recall the name of the series, but I've looked online. I saw the reviews; they were really good. Said it was a great show. Seemed to win a lot of awards, so I thought I'd give that a look. Maybe sometime in the future, I can do some reactions to that. We'll see how it goes. If you guys are interested, let me know. Favorite Autobot would probably be Bumblebee. I love he's kind of the underdog. I'm a Daniel Bryan guy. I'm a big fan of underdogs, guys who maybe aren't the biggest, aren't the most badass looking, but yet manage to make themselves cool and useful and awesome. So he's kind of my choice there as far as heroes go. However, with villains, I'm complete opposite. I like badass as hell. I like over the top. I like cool. So I'm going to go with Megatron on that. Only one. Oh, he's honestly the only other one I can actually think of is Starscream, and he's a fucking turd, so he can bite me. He dared to challenge Rainbow Dash, so he deserves to be at the bottom of the barrel. What online YouTuber internet personalities do you frequent? I guess I'll start by talking about some of the MLP reactors that I haven't shouted out before, the ones who I'm following and are currently active, doing good stuff. There's Nature's Fury, Maddox, he's from Germany, he's kind of cool. Angel Demon 13, I think her name is. Well, it's Angel Demon, I forget the number, I believe it's 13. She's really good, entertaining. She sounds a lot like the daughter from The Incredibles, which apparently she's heard a lot of times. There's also a few others I can't quite think of, but we'll just leave it at that for now, because this is getting long-winded as it is. Now, from stuff away from MLP, I've recently been binging through The Angry Video Game Nerd. I find him amusing. Aside from outside entertainment, I tend to get into politics and religion fairly heavily. So people who debate that and get into it are kind of on my list. I've been on The Drunken Peasants twice, so as you might imagine, The Amazing Atheist and his buddies, Armored Skeptic, Logic, Bible Reloaded, people like that, I do frequent their stuff. G-Man, a few people on the other end of the spectrum as well. It's kind of an interest of mine, so there you go. Next question, will Gravity Falls become a regular part of the reaction lineup, and what are your thoughts on it so far? Actually, yes, it will be a regular part of my lineup, and I intend to get at least one episode out a week. I might miss one or two here because life. But other than that, I do plan to keep it as a regular thing. So far, I enjoy the show quite a bit. I enjoy the characters. The animation is great. It's a little darker than I expected from a Disney kids cartoon, which I think is a good thing. And I just adore Grunkle Stan as a character. As an honest truth belief, I believe cousins, uncles, relatives in general, other than the parents, it's kind of their responsibility to be a tiny bit of a bad influence on the kids. You got to make them question their parents, question authority. That's a very important thing for people to learn. You can't quite usurp their parenting unless the parents are fucking terrible and, kind of one of those objective things, like really bad stuff is happening. But yeah, when I talk about being a bad influence, I introduced my nieces to sherbet and ice cream, stuff like that, and, stuff that their parents might not have thought about introducing. I'll, get them, if their parents say something that I consider extremely dumb, I might give the kids hints and stuff, ideas that will kind of push them in a direction to maybe at least question whether or not it's true. I do genuinely believe it's my idea to help the kids grow to be beyond their parents, which I think is, even parents would agree, they want their kids to be beyond them. So, in the end, I think it works out. Good job on getting to 300 subs. My question would be, how did you get on the Drunken Peasants? And are you planning on going back on the show in the future? I got onto the show by giving them a shitload of money. It was the top of their top Patreon perk. That's several times in the past. I thought about trying to get on the show. There were just basically times they said something or something came up that I really, really wanted to respond to. There's something I really wanted to say but couldn't because, I'm not there and I was ripping my hair out, and then, but it wasn't enough for me to actually respond. Then they had one week where they had two bronies on. One was a former brony who decided MLP was satanic and evil and horrible and screaming about how wretched and evil it was. And the other guy was a priest who was talking about how it's actually a Christian show and teaching Christian values. And to be honest, both of the guys came off as kind of goofy to me, and I wanted to present a more middle of the road, sensible, not psychotic, crazy person on there. Try at least put a little bit of a better face on there, even if I am kind of awkward sometimes. I think I did that. So the reactions or comments seem to be I was better than most of the patrons that they've had in the past, so I did all right, I guess. As far as going on in the future, Ben said he'd have me on sometime in the near future. Of course, they went on vacation for a month, and I haven't been on then. I would like to be on. They do seem to listen to their audience, so if you guys want to give them a shout on Facebook and tell them you'd like to see the fat brony Ryan dude back again, that'd be cool. Probably might help out a little bit. So that's, if you want to do that, that's cool. Just don't harass them. That would probably make the thing worse. Last question. You seem to like D&D. Which D&D based computer games have you played, if any? Neverwinter Nights. That's pretty much the only computer D&D games that I've played. I'm more of a tabletop D&D kind of guy. Mainly Advanced D&D 2nd Edition and 3.5. That was the bulk of what I've played. Not a huge fan of 4th. I think it was kind of lame. It didn't really feel... It wasn't even necessarily a horrible system. It just wasn't Dungeons and Dragons, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned. It was more of a computer game put onto the tabletop, which annoyed the hell out of me. I must... Neverwinter Nights, of course, was a great game, great series of games. Enjoyed playing those, but problem is my preference for gaming is consoles, controller in my hand, buttons to press. It's always felt more comfortable because I've been doing it for 25, 30 years. So that's kind of my That's kind of the way I lean. And the WASD movement controls always feel awkward and weird, and I just can't deal with it sometimes. So my computer gaming is limited to stuff like Civilization and Sims and stuff that are almost entirely mouse, so that way I can have a mouse in my hand. At least that feels like a controller. And that's the end of my questions. I guess if you guys want to ask more questions down below, I can maybe do another video if you guys want to respond to those, and maybe we can make this an ongoing thing. We'll see how it goes. Also, of course, you can comment on this video to let me know what you think if you want to further the conversation. Beyond that, please share, like, comment, subscribe. Patreon is always there if you want to help me out and get a better computer and a better system and move along and improve things on this channel. I'd appreciate it. And of course, above all else, I'd appreciate it even more if you have a nice day.